Welcome back to the Crooked Smile podcast brought to you by Macromedia. Today is our 1 year anniversary and our 50th episode at the same time.
Hey, one lap around the sun with you.
Well, it has been
Happy birthday.
50 episodes. Some great episodes and some not so great episodes. Some great guests and some not so great guests.
Let's start with what was our worst episode?
I don't think we should do it. Or like our worst duo episode or our worst guest.
Duo episode. We're not going to talk about our worst. All our guests.
Name and shame.
Oh no, all our guests have been beautiful.
Hey. I like.
I'm joking. I'm just
Why
joking.
would you?
I'm just joking because we have that sort of relationship. And I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm poly.
Oh.
You know what that is? Monogamous or whatever it is.
Polyamorous.
Polyamorous.
You're in a polyamorous relationship. So that means you'd be sleeping with me and someone else.
And yeah, so 50 episodes. Wow. What a time. What a wild ride.
If you've seen one of our episodes so
Thank
far,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you've seen all 50, how many people do you reckon have seen all 50?
I think I could name.
I probably could count them on my fingers.
I think
my mum. Shout out my mum.
My dad and mum haven't seen all of them, but they watch them pretty regularly. So that's good.
My mum watches every single one, even the ones she hates
base.
and tells me she hates.
Which one does she hate the most? Tell me, we can beep it out.
She thought that was like the hardest conversation she's ever had to listen to.
Okay, we can't have that in. That's crazy. No, what was I going to say? This is a weird shout out, but this is someone that was at least at the start for a little while. Was listening a lot, and I'm assuming still is. But Pip McManus listens to so many of the episodes. She was like, she'd always talk to me about it. She's like, I'm your biggest listener. Like Jacko and I listened to it driving down south. So if we keep this in, shout out Pip McManus because I know she's wanted a shout out for ages. Kind of random.
The crazy part is I'll go back and watch our older episodes and I'll find the older ones hard to listen to. Just like,
that'd be so difficult.
Production wise.
The first one when the camera's like,
no, the second episode where it's like the camera angle's like to the side down on us man spreading and we're wearing shorts terrible. And you can see up our shorts.
Oh no. For
anyone interested, that episode's still up.
Can we take that episode down, please? I want to. That Ty Wade episode.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of great podcast moments, it didn't make the list here, but now I'm thinking about it. That was a very special episode because I think that made us realize that we can do this, you know. He was like, to have a guest that was that, you know, good to us and yeah. What do you think about that? It kind of made me, because the first episode it was just kind of like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then we had our first guest on and it was a pretty nice job. I thought it was pretty special. So thank you to Ty Wade for basically launching the Crooked Smile podcast.
Yeah. And he was very patient. Well. We had a lot of technical difficulties.
So patient.
Your first guest on the podcast and then he sits there for 45 minutes while you're trying to fix a mic problem.
Unreal bloke.
Great. I think he's coming back on towards the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
To talk about something he's launching soon.
Yeah. That'll be a nice little full circle moment now that we're such a big podcast.
So 50 weeks, 50 weekends, 50 times we've sat down and spoken with each other.
Is it 50 in a row? No.
No, we missed 2 because you were away. You haven't even been here for 50 episodes.
Oh, yeah, true. Shut up. No, I
think you've been here for like 40,
I wasn't here for last week.
44, 45.
Good chat with Rizzo.
Yeah.
He was very, never get this word right. I can never get this
articulate.
Articulate. He was very articulate. And then I talk to him normally and he's a smart guy. But
he was disappointed you weren't here.
Yeah, no, I was disappointed I wasn't here too. I was just down south. Do you want to ask me how my down south trip was?
No.
Please?
Okay.
So it turns out I'm really good at fishing. So like all the guys who are with, because I don't go fishing normally, they're like, you know, oh yeah, you can, you know, just watch and da-da-da. And then I got this shit tiny rod from Toby. Shout out Toby.
Isn't fishing just luck and patience?
Basically, yeah. And then I was the only one that caught fish that we could eat. So I caught 2 fish that we could eat.
What'd you catch?
They were trevally. And then we ate them in ceviche form, final form. So yeah, I'm a good fisherman. Anyway, how was your weekend with Rizzo?
Oh, we went and saw Isaac Own Life's, Zafty's producer, who's spoken on one of our episodes, his EP, which was really cool.
Zafty's producer who does his own thing as well.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get him on at some point.
Yeah, I did speak to him afterwards.
How was that? Was it pretty good. Exciting?
He did a DJ set, but he also put in some of his music, so it was interesting. But his stuff was really cool. I really liked his stuff.
Your sort of vibe, geisha bar?
Was a lot of dubstep. I can't say As in, like,
Are you sure? I feel like you're a dubstep guy.
I can appreciate good dubstep, but I can't say I actively go and listen to dubstep.
I can appreciate good dubstep is one of the craziest lines that's ever been said. Bangarang, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the sort of kid that liked Bangarang back in the day.
FIFA? Yeah.
I like Bangarang. That's really good. Yeah, nice. Okay, maybe we should get on to the top moments. We're just riffing there. We're just riffing about our moments in the podcast. But what was that? What's the lowest that we've? The lowest
I had an honourable mention, but I forgot it.
I reckon we've got a low. We have to have a lowest ebb. Like, what was the lowest point
of the podcast?
Of maybe like a duo podcast that we were like, oh, that was not good. I'm trying to think. If there's any just absolutely shocking episodes that we've just thrown out there because we had to. I remember there was one episode where I got there really late. That was bad. Yeah, actually, no, we're not talking about that. We're actually not talking about that. We're not talking about that. But yeah, that was a low, just off the record.
Off the record.
But has there been any episodes that we were like?
I think the one was shit.
Can't put that in.
I'm just gonna come out and say I hated that. It sucked. The production was off. The flow of the episode was off, and it just wasn't a good episode. Like.
All of this talk is off the record. We've got nothing so far.
I sat there and edited that, and I struggled to edit it. And then I was like, I have to put this out there.
Not funny.
I had to put this out there. Like, if I couldn't even get through editing it, how the hell are people meant to watch it? You know what I mean?
Watch it, not even listen to it.
Like, we can just bleep out who it is, but I'm like,
no, we can't do that.
Who? No one will know.
No.
They're never gonna know.
We got to be respectful. Just take out this whole.
He or she is never gonna know.
I regret starting to talk about the worst. Let's talk about the best moments we've had on the podcast. What are your favorites, Cam?
I had an honourable mention.
Yep,
but I forgot it. But I've got a top three. I know you had an honourable mention that wanted to bring up.
Well, yeah, but I've got like evenly, and now I want to add Ty Wade episode to this list. So thank you, Ty Wade. I know we just spoke about that. But
I just got a bit of context for the audience.
Okay.
We've been doing this podcast for 1 year.
One lap around the sun.
That's the context.
With you. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do we do now?
So that's the context, and now he's going to go through his honourable mention, and then we'll both go through our top mentions of doing this for a year.
Well, I don't know how much we could say. We might have to check in with this person, but
we'll just do lots of bleep outs.
Honourable mention that Cooper episode. That was really great, and I think that's been our most viewed TikTok still. Is the one about the sensory overload when you get into the car, or power moves, wasn't it? He's a pretty funny guy. He just came in with boundless energy. Kind of had all these things he wanted to talk about. It's good when you get a guest that comes on and they know what they want to talk about.
Yeah, and then sometimes you don't.
Stop it.
Every guest that has come on the podcast, I just wanted to say thanks very much. We really appreciate people taking time out of their day to come on a weekend support what we do.
Yep.
Because I love what we do.
Yeah, it's fun. Having a podcast is fun. I'm past the stage where I get concerned when people go, "Oh, how's the podcast going?"
Just say good.
Just say good.
Well, now we've been doing it for a year. You could say we're almost professionals.
I'm beyond the point where people are like, "Oh, you have a podcast?"
Yeah, and you just go, "Yeah,"
and you just go,
"Oh, what's it about?" And
I'm beyond the point of being embarrassed about having a podcast.
Well, when people ask me,
to be embarrassed about.
Whenever people ask me what the podcast is about, I just say,
it's true.
Think Joe Rogan, but better,
and doesn't endorse Trump.
No, because the joke is because Joe Rogan's the number one podcast in the world. So I'm saying think the number one podcast in the world, but better.
Yeah.
That's what our podcast is about.
That's really amazing that you just came up with that.
Well, but that's what I've been telling everyone since we started.
I still haven't worked out exactly when I get asked they kind of freak out. I get asked what the podcast. I think I just talk about how we started with young men's health or young people's health, which was kind of like the first point.
I just say guest-centric.
I guess. Yeah, guest-centric, but we had that little health thing that was quite nice. It was weird. It was like a weird circle for us to stumble into. Hang on, I'm going to do this.
Well, or you say it's guest-centric. We try to get a guest on from a different world every week. And if we can't get a guest on, then we just chat shit.
Then we just, show our expertise in absolute rubbish. But yeah, that was that Cooper episode. That's still one of the more popular ones that we've had.
I'm going to say an honourable mention.
Yeah.
To all of the Tux Talk stuff we did at the very start that we just gave up on. We did the espresso martini making. We did street interviews that never saw the light of day.
No. The street interviews are in our introduction for Cam's News.
Cam's News. We had some great segments back in the day.
Oh, all the great segments. I feel like like Year of the Week was really popular. Who was asking? I think it might have been people. Someone was asking for Year of the Week. They're like, "Why is there no more Year of the Week?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. There's only so many years. There's a finite amount of years, and we don't have enough episodes to cover all the years."
True. So,
yep.
My third. This is top 3.
Mine are not ranked.
I can do mine ranked because whatever's made
ranked.
top 3 is like
yeah.
you've made the top 3, so that's already like a celebration.
Yeah. Of course.
I really liked the live magic episode. I know it didn't get a lot of love as in like viewership, and it didn't really get pushed that much into the algorithms.
Andy Gill.
Shout out to Andy Gill for coming on and doing some live magic on the show. It was early. I think it was episode 9.
I think he energized us as well, and he was really good with I don't know.
He had a really good stage voice.
Well, he's a
magician,
and he's a real estate agent as well. So he does shows, and unfortunately, I didn't go to the show, but he kind of.
But he did some magic.
Brought a bit of showmanship.
He did some magic on the episode, and we had like little camera angles to show us tricks.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
a neglected episode by the viewers. Viewers, what the hell? It's magic.
That's a top 3 moment for me.
He made the views disappear. Sorry, I can't say that.
Do you want to?
My third, okay. This is quite a recent one, but it was something that I just really was like. Every now and then you get little bits of valuable. Sometimes we'll film an episode and I'll be like, "Oh God, what did we get out of that?" Like, it was like sometimes with the duo episodes, I'm like, "Oh, that's fun," but maybe not added any value to the universe of podcasts. But
it's for the core, the less than 10 people that watch every episode.
It's for Robbie. Would Robbie have watched every episode?
Robbie, I think Riz has listened to a lot of them.
Yeah.
The guy that came on last
Running
week.
Riz.
Mum, TK.
Pip.
I don't think she still watches. Pip, if you're still watching this, please comment
Pip.
to let us know.
Yes, please. What was I going to say? Oh, what were we talking about?
Bro, you're a podcaster. You got to be like that.
So the recent one was when it clicked, when that value point was like, I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. This is a really cool conversation. Was that Coach Macca episode, the octopus thing that you actually brought up the tidbit. So we're talking about making mistakes, and how you learn, like basically evolution is based on generations and generations of learning from the mistakes of the people above you and making older than you, and then making new mistakes, if that makes sense. So. Yeah, but there was that conversation. So your parents made all these mistakes. They impart all this knowledge onto you. You make new mistakes, but they're, I guess, more evolved in a way than the mistakes that they made in the past. Let's say like smoking as an example. Parents were smoking. They worked out it was a mistake. They imparted knowledge onto you saying you shouldn't smoke. So, and then you brought up the point. You were like, well, octopuses are but octopuses have like the second highest brain to body index or something like that. The highest brain mass to body index.
Proportionate percentage of brain mass to body mass.
Yeah. And so obviously they've got a lot of brain power, but their parents crawl away. And I don't know if this is just a freak thing, but their parents crawl away.
The mother crawls away into a cave and dies.
After they give birth, and therefore they're not as evolved as humans. And I was like, oh. Is that a proper fact that's why they're not taking over the world?
I think Coach Mac was right. It's Carl from Triple J, the animal guy.
Oh,
I think he said that.
Anyway, it's a nice idea anyway, whether it's a legit thing or not.
I think it is.
Yeah. And then Coach Macca, so that I think that was quite nice. And I think Coach Macca had started talking about that.
As well.
And a great guest and a pretty inspirational guy. I know he's been doing some cool stuff recently. He came 3rd or something in the Runners Festival Marathon or something like that.
WA.
3rd in WA, 6th in Australia.
No one beats the Kenyans.
Because they run it at the same time. Yeah. Kipchoge. Yeah. That's my third. That's my first of the 3. They're not ranked.
Are you ready for my second one?
Yeah.
Jeffrey
Epstein?
Huh?
No.
Think.
Oh yeah, the Jeffrey the dildo.
That was actually
yeah.
I think that was iconic when we had the sexologist on.
That was a pretty fun. That's one of the
she
my
brought
favorites.
props.
Yeah.
When a sexologist brings props to the podcast, you're in for a wild
Sounds
episode.
like a bad joke.
And the green screens as well on that one for the intro was quite good.
What was it? I can't
Where we were
remember.
like shifting through all the different like.
Oh yeah. They were like what's the word? Jeez, I'm really struggling.
Aphrodisiac.
Aphrodisiac. I had to try sneak in the word aphrodisiac. Oysters and red wine. No.
They were
I'm
really
live.
kind of suggestive.
They were suggestive. They were
Provocative. What is it like? Sexually
double
suggestive?
entendres,
Yeah,
like an eggplant, something.
Yeah, it was like an eggplant, then like a banana with a condom on it.
It's kind of, yeah. Anyway,
It's kind of wild.
great, good episode. And then Jeffrey was the penis. Well, that's funny because
Jeffrey was the penis prop from the sexologist.
Yeah, I probably should explain that better. Hey, no, that was a great episode, and I don't know, it kind of challenged us because we had to sit there and try not to laugh.
I learned
a
lot though.
I learned a lot, but no, I didn't learn a lot, but like I feel like our viewers learned a lot, and our friends, that asked the questions, our friends that asked the questions.
Yeah, the asking for a friend segment
was good. That was good. That was funny. It's nice when you get someone that's so, their field is that. I guess that comes back to what we talk about with, what the podcast's about, that they're very, it's a niche field, obviously. But yeah, Melissa Hadley Barrett, she was, very well versed in that area.
Good episode. Great guest.
We'd probably look to have her on again because that topic can be can be talked about for ages because no one really talks about it that much. So there's a lot that people don't know.
Honorable mention to the accounting studio as well.
Yeah, rest in peace, the accounting studio.
We're done there, but that was the origin.
It actually exploded.
Law.
It exploded law.
Bit of crooked smile law, CSP law.
Jude law. Well, that's funny because I was going to say one of my top moments was, and it's something that I talk about a lot with other people. So the things that I like the most about what we did on the podcast is things that I go out and talk to people at parties or whatever, because I go to heaps of parties. Talk to people about as like little, interesting tidbits that make people think that maybe I'm interesting. Is the death grip. It's kind of it's a scary thought, but the death grip.
It's a scary topic.
The death grip is like a major issue
for young males.
With
masturbation.
Yeah, once you get to a certain level of grip and force, it's like it can be detrimental. No, but like seriously, it can be detrimental.
Your grippage game too strong.
Yeah, because as she said, no human vagina can replicate that. So yeah, sorry, I can't get through this without talking.
Vagina.
Maybe a little bit, but that was interesting and kind of scary. And then she had she had Jeffrey, and then she was like demonstrating how. Yeah. Anyway, go back and watch that one. That was a hell of an episode.
That was a wild one.
That's the death grip is something that I talked about extensively outside of the podcast.
What did I talk? I always talk about from that episode the asking for a friend where we asked like, should you buy condoms from the self-checkout or not?
Oh yeah, we looked someone in the eye when they beep them.
And then she went, beep. Well, people might find that attractive because it means, hey, you're safe.
That's good actually. Yeah.
Safe is attractive.
Safe is attractive. Well, is it?
Safe is attractive.
Safe is attractive. Yeah, absolutely right.
That's like telling kids not to do drugs. Safe is attractive. It's just like the right thing to say, but is it really the appealing?
Yeah.
Instinctual lust and need from the youth? Probably not, but safe is attractive.
Safe is attractive, everyone. So shout out to Melissa Hadley Barrett for
shout out to the sexpert
for that episode, the sexpert. Well, does that bring us to number one?
No, brings you to number two.
No, that was it. That was the death grip was one of my top three. Yeah, that tidbit.
Nice. We both had the same.
I know. What's your number one?
Well, my number one was your honorable mention.
Yeah, but you can explain it more.
My number one highlight. We
can only refer to it as episode 8.
Episode 8. Well, we had a friend on that works for the West Australian Police Force, and unfortunately, that episode had to be taken down because the West Australian Police Force.
I don't know if
and the higher ups at the West Australian Police Force all saw it because it exploded on TikTok, and that episode had to go down. And it was doing really well. It was the best episode at the time of. And it was just exploding on YouTube, TikTok, and Insta, doing like our best clips, and probably my favorite episode, I'd have to say. Sorry to everyone else that's been on. I've really enjoyed all these episodes, but not favorite, but well, it'd be up there, but it's the funniest episode we've had where it was just his power plays and power moves that he went into about setting hotel alarm clocks to 3 a.m. for the next guests.
The car one.
And like returning a car and sensory overload with the window wipers, the aircon and the volume on the radio.
Yeah.
Just things like that.
Yeah.
It's just, and then some of his concepts that we can't go into, unfortunately.
No, we can't.
But let's just say the Rottenest swim is the Super Bowl for Pirates. I'll leave it at that.
We're going to be in trouble. Yeah, no, that was a great episode.
That's my top
I think that
moment
was really funny.
for our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Our one anniversary.
Well, my equitable moment that I want to talk about is having. I thought the Zafty episode was really cool. That was another really recent one. Maybe I've got recency bias and I can't think about past episodes, and maybe that's something else we can try to do.
One of our most interesting guests, I think, for sure.
But yeah, no, he was great, and have something that was someone that was
Such a
so
fresh
motivated,
perspective.
yeah,
from a hungry,
and
mentality.
knowledgeable about their topic. Just like I guess it's just a different topic. But
Shout
like,
out Zafty. He's
shout
in all
out
our
Zafty.
outro music now.
Yeah.
Like for the end of the outro music is Zafty's song Superman.
But he was really cool, and the way he just spoke about it, you could see he was super passionate. So hopefully it goes well.
He's just released a new song, MIA.
Oh, there you go.
It's good.
Missing in action.
Boy's got talent.
Yeah, he'll go far. If I was to pick one of the guests that we've had on that's going to be famous one day, it would probably be Zafty.
You know what?
Who would you
He's
pick?
probably the most famous guest we've had on in terms of like music streams.
Yeah,
Well, Joel Candia's got a lot of Instagram followers.
true. Actually, no. Shout out Joel Kandara as well.
Shout out Joel Candia.
Yeah,
The ultimate redemption story.
he was great the first time we had him on too. Damn, we've had great guests.
I've got our episode 50 Q&A.
Okay, guys, we have an episode 50 Q&A, 1 year anniversary Q&A.
So the first one is,
Scary.
can you tell me how to get over my grief of an existence in Perth without Fletcher Gardner?
I have to tell Fletcher when he gets back that you can't book the Kentucky tour for women if you're a man, because he was on these Kentucky tours and there were just girls in his photographs, and I'm like, Fletcher, you gotta book the mixed Kentucky tour. You can't go. That's like an invasion of privacy, Fletcher. So
What the hell, Fletcher?
what the hell, Fletcher? No, he looks like he's had a good time. He looks like he's had a great trip. He literally left the day before the election as well in America. Probably a smart move.
Well, we got another one, Trump or Kamala. Well, the election's already over now, so we know
Are
who
we going
won.
to talk about it?
I don't.
We're going to bring inject politics
we
into
have
this.
all our political opinions, and we may even be in stark contrast on our political opinions. But
Let's see if you can guess.
at the same time,
This is a
we're
creative
both
space.
22 years old. Like, we don't know anything about the world and politics.
Yeah.
We haven't been around long enough to have like
And we don't live there.
valuable opinions that people should listen to.
Yeah, but you
And
can
we don't
still-
even live there.
But I
so
think when you're young, it's good for just spouting rubbish a bit sometimes. Like you're still working out
you
your
spout
mind.
your rubbish to formulate non-rubbish eventually.
Yeah, but you also change, your opinions change on that. But I mean, it's good to be well informed. I think it's good. A lot of, a few of us that, are into it, in a couple of friendship circles that I'm in, and then other people to just like, why do you keep talking about it? But I think the conversation's super valuable. So I don't know.
Dream guest on the podcast.
Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys.
Gianni came.
Oh, that's really nice.
I'd say Kanye West.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd just be so fascinating to
Be a
just
beautiful, dark, twisted
not
episode.
interrupt him, let him sit there and just talk and explain his mind. Because
There's
he's
a lot going on up there.
he doesn't talk in like definitive black and white answers. He talks in concepts and ideas that he needs to like paint the picture of
Yeah, he's a
over
troubled,
like 5 minutes.
the troubled genius.
But I think that would be so fascinating to listen to the way his mind just works and how he conceptualizes ideas. Hopefully
Yeah.
not ideas.
Hopefully not anti-Semitic ideas.
More like ideas about creativity and sort of like the world in that sense, not in a race sense.
I'd want to talk to him about his samples,
Yeah,
especially his older day
Otis
samples, Otis
samples.
Redding, and
crazy.
All
All right, I got 2 left. I'll save the best one for last.
okay, go no
Yeah.
second last.
Who wears the pants, Campbell or Gianni?
Are we getting to that?
I think we have an equitable pants wearing relationship.
Depends on the context. Are we analyzing that later? Is that have you got a photo of us for that?
We could just do the Crooked Smile like podcast cover photo.
Well, we have to be looking at something though, because then we can judge.
I think socially you wear
Subjectively.
the pants. Podcast wise, with like production, I wear the pants.
Because you do it all. Yes, you actually do. Yeah,
Good answer.
yeah, equitable.
So it evens out to equitable.
Yep.
The only pure pants wearing relationship there is.
Who does more talking on the pod?
I'd say.
If we had all the hours of us talking, how?
Well,
many,
I've got episodes without you because you were away.
okay, but like the episodes that we do together, who
I'd
talks
say
more?
I ask more questions, but you talk more about ideas or topics.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, our last question for the Q&A, episode 50 special. And
Who's it from?
Oh, no name and shames. Have either of you ever kissed a guy, and how was it?
I haven't. Not on the lips.
Where else would you kiss a guy?
Maybe give your friend a cheeky little kiss on the cheek every now and then, don't you?
Oh,
Have you never done that? Oh, when in Italy, you come on, you got to left, right, that sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys do that. It's
I feel like
nothing wrong
guys
with
shake
that.
hands.
Yeah, but like, you know, if you're doing it properly
How awkward is it
Some
with
places.
like mums when you say hi to a mum and you shake the dad's hand and then it's like, well, do I shake your hand as well?
I think
Because like, or do I lean in for the kiss on the cheek?
I think we need to proliferate more men shaking hands with women because I don't understand how in the past it's
You
been
tell
like
them.
it's always like if you're meeting, so say you're meeting someone's girlfriend for the first time, you're always like, hey, how you going, man? This is my girlfriend. You're like,
yeah,
like
it's
what do you do
weird.
with your hands?
It's
You go
weird
like,
where you go
'cause
for the hug or the handshake.
I always go like, oh hi, like awkward like that. But I'm trying
After
to.
you've just shaken the guy's hand.
Well, like why? That's just a.
you
that's
dap
just
up your boy and
That's
he's like,
just,
this is my girlfriend. You're like,
it's just like
Oh.
such a traditionalist bullshit thing where it's like, oh, you like a gentleman
but
doesn't
some
really shake
girls
hands.
you
It's like,
shake the hand when that happens.
do you go soft though?
But some girls you shake the hand when that happens and they laugh because it's like, oh, you shake my hand, this feels
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
But it's like you hug them and they go, oh, you're hugging me, this feels weird. Or you do nothing, like, oh, you do nothing, this is weird. So it's a lose-lose-lose
It's literally a
situation.
lose situation. We should segment that. We should have a segment called lose situations and get people to send in lose situations. Bang, segment idea. No, I think we need more of that, and it needs to become socially acceptable because that's why people. You're right. That's why people are scared of doing it because sometimes you shake someone's hand and they're like, "Oh, that's like official." I'm like, no, it's just like how you greet people, I guess. I don't know. It is weird. I don't know. It's a thing of the past. Let's get rid of that. Let's normalize everyone shaking hands together in beautiful harmony,
All right, and to answer the question for me, no, I haven't either.
but like on like the cheek or something. Sometimes.
Not that I can recall.
Well,
Well, I don't know.
just a cheeky little.
It's not something I actively
Just a
think
cheeky little
about.
peck. Don't you do like, you know, in The Godfather and like grab the head? They're like, you know, it's a sign of power
think-
as well.
Yes, I have.
It is. You got to kiss the ring.
I've done it on the podcast for the Christmas special where you fell asleep at
Oh,
the
yeah,
end
you
of the
kissed my
episode
forehead.
and I tucked you.
Yeah, so exactly. So-
forehead.
Proliferate friends kissing each other on the forehead.
Proliferate men kissing men.
Nuclear
Is that what you were about to
nuclear
say?
proliferation treaty. Of course, you had to take it there. Proliferate friend forehead kissing.
If maybe instead of a handshake, you just forehead kiss.
It's you just flip the switch. Oh, this is my girlfriend. Oh, hey man.
Hey, you do it to the girlfriend as well.
As long as you handshake first.
Simultaneous.
What was the Taylor Swift segment? Flipside Burger or not? That was another highlight.
Taylor time.
Taylor time.
And we had to break down a Taylor Swift lyric and I would just hate on it.
Yeah. Great segment
For
ideas.
clout.
Why haven't we become famous yet on a podcast? It's crazy. Should we get into who wears the pants?
We'll get into who wears the pants.
Should we get into the pants?
I'm actually not wearing pants right now.
Yeah. So I guess I'm wearing the pants in this situation. To answer your question before, Peter.
Okay. Here's context for today's one and only Who Wears the Pants submission.
Mm-hmm.
So in this Who Wears the Pants submission, we have got two photos. The first photo was submitted from the first time these two individuals met. And the second photo is submitted of the last photo they had together. So sorry, not the first time they met, but the first photo they have together and then the last photo they have
That's
together.
a smart idea. Whose idea was that?
The person that sent it in.
Wow. That's clever. Because you can see how the pants
If
situation.
they've changed or
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm excited now. I'm really excited.
Are you ready for the first photo?
Is it?
You ready for the first photo?
Yep. Oh, what a beautiful surprise. Oh, I was waiting for it to not be me. I've featured on Who Wears the Pants more than anyone. Oh, wow. Well, this is someone we really need to get on.
Yes.
So did he message you?
He sent them in.
Did you have a conversation? Because that's like worlds colliding right there.
Yeah, he was just like, will you
Hey,
do
man.
them? And I was like, yeah.
Okay, good. This is good. This is good. Okay, this is my really good friend George from Adelaide.
Really good friend.
Really good
For this
friend.
relationship.
Let me restart. So this was we were going to a club and we I don't know what
You
the
just had to be there.
I don't
guess.
know. I don't know what the theme was. It was some sort of like collared shirt theme or like jungle theme. And we put on these weird collared shirts. And we were like the only ones in the club wearing these sort of shirts. And it was in Milan where everyone was dressed to the nines basically. And so we looked like idiots, but we did together because, you know, we're
Your
good
first
friends.
photo ever taken
It's the
together.
first. That's George. He's a chef. Amongst other things, he's actually doing the Sydney to Hobart.
Yeah, okay, let's get into who wears the pants.
Can I not talk about it?
We want to get into it.
Are you not interested in this? He's doing the Sydney to Hobart sale on Boxing Day.
Yeah, he's coming on the pod.
This
though.
guy's a genius. He's a genius.
What's he doing? Boat crew.
He's just, I don't know. He's just an eclectic guy. Like he does
Hope he doesn't
what he
die.
wants and he wants what he's just done a trip from, he's basically retraced the Silk Road from China through to Europe. He just did a trip like that. So I speak very hard to this guy. Anyway,
Can't wait to have him on.
Giorgio. Who wears the pants?
Him. He's taking the photo.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the lean's kind of giving like a submissive. I'm standing there like I look like I'm like, you know, I'm just looking good, you know, that's the most important thing. I'm not worried about, I feel like I'm wearing the pants in this photo. Also, he's wearing chinos, I'm wearing jeans. I feel like the darker color is more powerful. What do you reckon?
If you look at the facial expressions, you've got definitely a more sinister look going on.
Yeah.
Like a more devious. And generally the divas are the holders of the relationships.
Yeah. But why did you think he was wearing the pants to start with?
Because he took the photo, I guess.
Yeah.
He submitted it. Or maybe he needs validation. So maybe you are the pants wearer.
This is a pretty funny photo. It just seems like so uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's your first photo together, and your
It's our
last
first
one you
photo
look so much
together.
more
It
comfortable
was pretty
together.
early on in our,
You're so far away from each other. Look at all the distance between the two of you.
Oh no, what's happening in there? What's going to be in the next episode? Next photo.
So the second photo
It's actually on my my profile photo on Instagram. Yay!
is your last photo together, and
Really?
you're much closer. You're
We're in
leaning
Adelaide recently, and so this is definitely not our last photo. That's in
maybe in Europe. Your last photo in Europe.
that's in
together.
Brescia, in northern Italy. We just went on this random trip to this town in northern Italy together. I was pretty unwell that day, actually. I remember. Once again, it's hard to judge who's wearing the pants. He always seems to be the one taking the photos, and I'm just there.
He's got a bit of a blue steel Zoolander look.
Yeah. This is my mustache era.
You're leaning in more as well.
My mustache. Are we? That's just the angle of the photo. He's definitely leaning more. I grew a crazy mustache on exchange, by the way, everyone. Look at it. Look how good it is. I think the fact that I have a mustache is pretty powerful in this situation.
But what about girls? Girls can't grow mustaches, so how would they wear the
No,
pants
but
in
like
relationships with guys with
no,
mustaches?
but just specifically this example where you know both have the ability to grow a mustache, and I decided I'm going to. I'm biased. I can't comment on who wears the pants. We can't even see any pants in this photo.
Well, it's obviously a lot of growth in the relationship from the first to second photo. You were so separated in the first one, whereas now you're next to each other. You look happier together. You look like an established couple in this second photo.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you started with the pants and you ended with the
Yeah,
pants.
I think.
And you never took them off and gave them to him. You held on to those pants.
Yep.
Maybe like a 60-40.
60-40 pants wearing relationship. People are going to be so confused. We've had this one. We had the one a couple of weeks ago with Saskia and Jen. We had us. We had me and George. Other George from Perth.
I think you've been in every single one.
I think I've been in every one. I think we need to stop putting me in who wears the pants.
Or maybe we keep putting you in who wears the pants.
Guys, I don't have any relationships, but I've got a relationship photo in every single one of these Who Wears the Pants episodes.
And I can never ever. If you get lost, I press the rewind so you don't see now. I know I can tell that you a winner. I'm making key lime cause I was living in the backseat till you bagged me. All my niggas never playing games like we Backstreet. When she's talking, feel like poetry in motion, and I feel like I'm chosen. When she look at me, I'm getting lost up in that ocean. Everywhere in motion, they ain't got a notion. I wanna tell the world.